There is a child being exploited by adults and used for online content. And worse, she's being used for worse, actually. Many of these same adults who are exploiting her also had a hand to play in making her become a, quote, famous child stitute. Critics of these behaviors are publicly mocked, harassed, and sometimes sexually. Please, nothing I say in this video should be taken as if it is an accusation of a crime or an allegation of wrongdoing, especially against anybody in particular. Please do not contact anybody mentioned in this video unless it is the appropriate law enforcement authorities. This video is meant to be a public safety announcement involving what I genuinely believe to be a life and death situation, not only for Nova, a perpetually, consistently missing child named Renaya Moorhead, but also for, who knows, uncountable, innumerable other children. Okay. This morning, I saw something I never wanted to see. I saw something I did not consent to see. It was within trying to follow all the rules over here, child's related corn, I'll say, ography. Depicting this child in multiple sexual acts. Now, the time of the recording or the live streaming of this video, the videos, the material remains public, and it's just on a public social media website. Yes, I did report the content to the platform, and I'm going out of my way to try not to say the name of the platform because I do not want anybody to try and find it. But it's just a regular social media platform. It's not even something off grid like, Discord or something. It's just a social media platform. These videos have been up since September 17th of this year. So yes, I did report them to the site. And as soon as I reported them to the platform, they disappeared to me. But I can still go to this social media profile and I can still see, you reported this item. It doesn't say, this was deleted. So I can't see it anymore, thank God. But it's still up. So for that reason, I'm going kind of out of my way not to say which platform it's on because I do not want a single another predator, creep, or freak to victimize this child. Yes, I also reported this to the authorities. I will actually be continuing to report this to more authorities. I'm going to keep reporting it until somebody does something about it. I reported it to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I made a written report. At some point in making the written report, it's like, it looks like, we could benefit from actually talking to you on the phone. Would you mind calling the hotline? And I did. I talked to somebody on the phone named Kristen for about 15 minutes. And I told her my understanding of the story. I told her the links. I told her the profiles. I also reported it to the Federal Bureau of Investigation, the FBI. Yes, I did. The child abuse tip line. Now, later in the video, I'm going to go through what I actually said to these tip lines as far as the written ones. So put a pin in that. This child, Nova, has been all but advertised by adults, including her own mother, including YouTubers, grown men, Adam Grand Mason, 1622 of Nashua, with the No Jumper podcast, he himself, as well as the staff, hired staff or paid staff or whatever it is on that show, talent, I don't know how they have their agreements set up, but the people working at the No Jumper or on the No Jumper, they've also discussed, to varying degrees of what I consider to be appropriateness, this child, some calling her names such as fast and grown. Do with that information what you will. She's also really not only been talked about on this No Jumper, and I'm not talking about people that's just talking about her. I'm talking about this kind of like advertising, this kind of like normalizing, not criticism. Because when they have the advertising and the normalizing, then we have to have that counterbalanced with criticism. Because I'm not going to be able to let it stand that this is normal. This isn't normal. It's abnormal. It's degenerated, and I do not consent. In fact, and indeed, from where I'm sitting, it appears as though perhaps, I don't know, innocent until proven guilty, perhaps some criminal activities are going on. Okay. She's been advertised by adults, including her mother. She went on the Soft White Underbelly podcast, Mark Leta. She was, in my opinion, advertised as a, quote, 13-year-old runaway. That same channel on YouTube, Soft White Underbelly, has, or at least did have, videos called 13-year-old Stitute about other children. Now, to hear Mark Leta say it, his defense of himself is, this is really going on out here in the world. You people are just soft. You just want to live in your bubbles. You don't want to see what's really going out here in the world. And you know what, Mark? You're right. You are so freaking right. Because if what is going on out here in the real world is what I saw this morning with my own eyes, I cannot get it out of my mind. I did not consent to seeing that. I didn't want to see it. If I could have signed up to never see it, I would have. I don't want to see what's really going on in the so-called real world, because that's not going on in my world. I've worked very hard to build up a bubble, in fact and indeed. And now this child, I believe strongly, and I'm going to get into the reasons why I believe it in this video, her life is in danger for more reasons and in more ways than one. And it has been exacerbated, in my opinion. It has been exacerbated multiple times over by these grown men who have put this child, starting at the age of 13, 14 years old, on their platforms with millions of subscribers. It has been exacerbated by that, in my opinion. They have thrust this child and her well-being onto the collective consciousness so that all of us have to deal with the turmoil and the trauma of living through this and watching this child and not being able to do anything. No authorities are doing anything as far as what we can see. Maybe they started to do something with a Rico, with a little Rico, the Hoovers, then her name starts getting thrown around and people are, in my opinion, threatening her. She better stay out the way for better days and better plays, or else she might get put in the dog kennel or whatever. As soon as maybe somebody's about to try and do something about a little Hoover gang here and there, children are getting threatened openly. So the public aspect of this story starts around December something, 2023, when YouTuber and professional photographer Mark Leta with the Soft White Underbelly channel featured this child. She was advertised at the time, or I don't know. I mean, that's what, to me, it was advertising. He's a commercial advertising photographer. That's how I see it. That he's objectifying his subjects, in my opinion. In my opinion. He might disagree with me. He's allowed to. This is my opinion. I'm allowed to have that. So 2023, Mark Leta posts this video, December. It's the end of the year, 2023, 13-year-old runaway. Now, in my memory, I feel like I originally saw it being called 13-year-old prostitute, but maybe not. Now, he posts this video up, millions of subscribers. The child is basically not, I would say basically naked. I would say basically. She was wearing little shorts, a little skirt, a little something, mini micro something skirt shorts. And she had on a little, a triangle type of bikini top. That was like mesh or net. It was see-through. You could see through it. See through it. And the video came out and it was uncensored as far as the chest. Okay. Now, people freaked out. Like the general public even was like, what? Whoa, hold on. This is too far, Mark, even for you. My God. You couldn't have blurred that out. I mean, there was a big backlash. In that first video, Mark discusses prostitution and S work with the child. He told viewers pretty much exactly where she could be found and located, what type of illegal services she offers. I mean, I'm calling them illegal because she's a child. I'm not saying Mark Leta did anything with her. I'm not saying he did anything illegal. But he did discuss with her. I'm also not saying he didn't do anything illegal. I mean, I would like the authorities to investigate. However, I don't know because I wasn't there. He talked about some, in my opinion, very, very inappropriate things with this child in that video. And again, she's no top, like her top, she's wearing a top, but it's like see-through. Nova also said in the video that, in so many words, the reason that she was resorting to a life on the streets was because of her own mother, Tania. According to subsequent statements from Nova in different videos and different places elsewhere online, Tania is toxic. There's also video proof of them having a very difficult, tumultuous relationship. What appears to be Tania yelling, screaming, rage-fueled arguments between the two of them, wherein Tania can be heard calling Nova lots of names. We'll just leave it at that. But names that I would hope mothers wouldn't be calling their daughters. Now, in Mark's first 13-year-old runaway interview, he and Nova also discussed, P to the, I am big, what they were always talking about in the 90s and the 2000s, PI, they're getting real strict out here with what we could say. But they talked about that. Somehow they were allowed to talk about that over there on that video. They talked about prices. They talked about, why Nova didn't want to have any of the people in charge of getting her money and stuff. She's like, no, I don't want to do that. So after extreme and immense public backlash, against Mark Leta for posting the video of the child like that, all uncensored, he would eventually censor the video. And perhaps even maybe he re-uploaded a version of it. I'm not even exactly sure. It's all a blur. It's all a vague blur to me. But suffice it to say, before the video was censored and taken down, thousands of people saw it on YouTube, right there on YouTube. This was back 2023. Today, a version of that video still is up, but it has now been censored and blurred, a version of it. Nevertheless, thousands of people saw this first uncensored video on YouTube. Mark Leta would go on to interview this child several times. And even though he did eventually censor or blur out the public YouTube version of the video of the 13-year-old, he did re-upload the video for sale on his private Patreon account, or I guess public, I don't know. I mean, public, private, you have to pay. It's paywall Patreon, or whatever it is. You can buy the video, from what I understand, to this very day, uncensored. Now, in my opinion, I would characterize that to be child sexual abuse material, in my opinion. And I would like the authorities to actually once and for all investigate and look into it. I don't know. Again, this is my opinion. In my opinion, don't think this is okay. I haven't thought it was okay since 2023 when I saw it. I didn't think it was okay before I saw it. And then today, what it has escalated to is now there's public child sexual abuse material of her engaging in unclothed acts that I did not consent to see, that I was subjected to today. I've reported them and they haven't been taken down from the site where I saw them. Within weeks of Mark Leta publishing this video back in 2023, this child actually went missing. Now, for full context, Nova had already been characterized and publicized and advertised as a runaway. So she maybe had a history of running away already. I'm not saying this one video made her run away, but now she had been thrust into international global infamy in her pretty much full anatomy. So this adds a new level of complexity to the entire situation of her going missing, because now she's what? Famous, viral, whatever you want to call it. A worldwide audience is aware of her story, her difficult home life, how she feels about certain things, where to find her or catch her. So maybe she went missing before she was publicized in the way that she was on the YouTube channel to thousands of people. In my opinion, commodified, exploited in my opinion, and belief, which isn't a fact. It adds a new level of complexity. Okay, so soon after that first interview aired, her supposed biological mother, Tania, remember we heard about her? She does her own interview on Soft White Underbelly. Now, apparently she might have already been on Soft White Underbelly before, but now that the 13-year-old runaway video has come out, now she wants to come on there. And I guess, rehabilitate her reputation after Nova, the 13-year-old runaway, quote, quote, according to the title, came on there and talked about her mom being, lesser than fit. So Tania comes on, the mom comes on and does her own interview. And we'll just say in that interview, she showed her true self. Okay, let's just call it that and move on. So fast forward to today, October 9th. Thursday, October 9th, 4:41 p.m. And the child, apparently, from what it appears, herself is now advertising child abuse material for sale on public social media platforms, including places like, and again, I'm going to name a big bucket of ones because I don't want anybody trying to look for this. It's truly traumatized me. I did not want to see it. I wish I hadn't. But she's using sites such as or including YouTube, X, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, some Telegram. Okay? She's using different aliases. And when I say she, I don't really know who's logging in to these accounts. So after I saw what I saw today, I reported it to the platform hours ago. Alarmingly, the account where the videos are posted, which again, I can no longer see because once I reported them, they disappeared from me. I cannot see them anymore. It just has a grayed out, blacked out, whatever. It just has a box where it used to be. It says you reported this. So I'm not looking at them and I'm trying to forget what I saw. Okay. But the account upon which it is posted has gained 100 subscribers or followers today. Today, since I saw it, at least 100 followers or subscribers, have been gained. That means that many people have followed the account where these public videos are. And you should also know that including, just having the videos on there, there's a bio section, and I'll get into that in a little while or in after this part. Now, this child was also interviewed and, in my opinion, advertised with her mother on another controversial YouTube channel called No Jumper, run by Adam 1622 Grand Mason of Nashua. No Jumper. He also hires people affiliated and associated with alternative lifestyles, we'll put it at that. perhaps varying intensities and degrees of legality and criminality. We'll leave it at that, innocent until proven guilty. But more than one former, whatever, affiliate, employee, I don't know what their employment contracts look like, but more than one has now been wrapped up in separate RICO indictments for gang stuff. Okay, separate ones, one's against the Big U, one's against the Hoovers. Okay. So sometime recently, again, I'm not going to give any specifics, to triangulate until this stuff's took down. But sometime within very recently, over the past couple days, we'll say, there was a social media post to a social media platform. We'll call that post A. It was a video. It was a vlog of sorts. In this particular social media post A, she advertised another social media handle from another social media platform. Again, think YouTube, think Snapchat, think Twitter, think X, think Instagram. These are normal on the surface things, right? This isn't like, oh, DM me on a Kick, come to Omegle. No. This was like, just a normal, like one that you would have a profile to or whatever, right? So I'm on platform A, looking at this thing she posted, and it's like, oh, go to this other place. This is the other place where I have a social media platform, and I'm, researching the case and all of that. So I'm like, okay, what is that? So I go to it. Social media post on platform B, social media post B on platform C or whatever, second platform. That's where the materials were. So she was using one platform to kind of advertise another platform, which unbeknownst to me, I had absolutely no way to know that videos or things like that were even allowed on this social media. I thought this stuff was like, oh, if it's reported, it gets taken down. Like, whoa, that's immediate took down. Apparently not. Apparently not. So I immediately reported it to the platform that B post was on. And like I said earlier, it made it disappear. And there was 3 different things on there. And all 3 of them, I can describe as nothing else other than, child corn, if you know what I mean. And so I reported it to the platform itself. I began reporting to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children on the cyber tip line. I also called the tip line on the phone because the form I was filling out prompted me to do that. And I had about a 15-minute call with this representative named Kristen. Now, Adam Grandmason, 1622 of Nashua, the no jumper, he repeatedly interviews this child's mother and has her on the show. And the child too, she came on there too to do an interview about, apparently, in my opinion, unlawful topics like gang related violence, being a snitch on a gang, and prostitution. She's talking about these things. She's still at this point 15 on Adam Grandmason's show. From what I can see from the public view, and I don't know these people, no adults have stepped in to help this abused child, this child victim. When I made critical comments about these behaviors, the No Jumper show cast said I should come to the studio and perform a group S act on them, on the men in the room, instead of complaining about them. Lush. So that should give you an idea of their mindset. As at the time of the live stream I'm making right now, when I began it, the videos have not been removed. Nor has that original social media post A been removed. That eventually led me on the second social media page that, had that material. I have been making videos about this issue for years. I think I actually started making videos about it in 2023. Maybe it was 2024, but it was instantaneously when I saw that video just put out there uncensored like that. It was not acceptable then, and it is not acceptable now, and I will not be gaslit. I will not be brainwashed into thinking it's acceptable, because it's not, and it just simply is not. Despite my making videos about this and trying to sound the alarm for years, so far it does not appear to have really helped in the slightest. In fact, I'm increasingly concerned more and more about Nova's health, safety, wellness, and well-being. In her recent videos and posts, she has been apparently engaging in what appears to be illegal and highly dangerous activities, in particular for someone her age. And this is not to shame Nova in the slightest. This isn't to blame her at all. She cannot be held responsible, even really like morally, ethically at all. She was brought up in this lifestyle, and I'm not sure she's ever seen anything different. She said she used to live with her grandparents for a while and she had a great life then, but as soon as her mom took over, she started going down the wrong path. And today, it's never too late for Nova. It's never too late to change her life around. But the sad reality is, she is a child. She can't just run away and start a new life. She has years to go before she's old enough legally to do that. And so for that reason, because she cannot really legally remove herself from the situation, even if she gets put in a group home, I mean, those are hit and miss on if you're going to get put somewhere might be worse than where you came from. And y'all know it's true. So there's not a whole lot of options for somebody like Nova, especially now Nova has all these face tattoos. It's kind of hard for her to just go hop into somebody's foster home now. Like, people judge. That's why kids aren't supposed to be allowed to get a tattoo. She's got tattoos on her neck, on her face. There's no hiding this. She's going to have a hard time distancing herself from this lifestyle. And as everyone does, as it is, if she were to decide one day she would like to do that. But now, to her detriment and at her expense, adults, multiple adults, have made money or gotten clout or clicks or whatever currency it is by putting this child on. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am not sorry for talking about this story publicly, and I'm going to continue to do it. Anybody who says that what I am doing by raising awareness and rebuking this behavior that's been thrusted upon my timeline, that's been thrusted upon the front pages of accounts where all of your kids could be, I'm not sorry. Hello, look what's going on. And stuff's not even getting taken down. And again, I'm not even saying which platform. Okay. But I do find it to be interesting that Asmongold can't even read a Taylor Swift lyric without the highly advanced copyright system picking up on that. Without the highly advanced copyright system, I play one David TikTok with a little David song overlaid over it, and UMG got my whole video blocked from playing in places. It's amazing how fast they can do that over truly fair use. But materials of child victims, advertising illegal, I hesitate to call it services. It's been up it's been up since September 17th. I reported it like 7 a.m. or something early this morning. It's still up. It's 4:52. I've been crying. I'll get more into that after I get my little speech done. So none of this is to blame Nova. Please don't take it in that way. I don't think Nova should be given anything but understanding and love and respect, because those are the things that it very strongly appears to me she has never, ever had from the people who had a duty to her to provide that. But in her recent postings online, public postings, the ones not behind any paywalls, it appears to me as though she has been engaging in riskier, higher risk behaviors, more dangerous behaviors, and, no judgment at all, but criminal behaviors, which could get her in a lot more trouble. She's got videos of herself doing what appear to me to be substances, 420, cough medicines, something from a balloon, driving a car all around when she's 15. I'm not sure you're, able to do that in California. And I saw something today that I'm going to try to describe that really shook me to my core, and I'm going to be as vague as possible, but still getting the point across. So in a post, we'll say it was a video of sorts. Maybe it was a clip. Maybe it was a short. Maybe it was a story. It's bad, y'all. Nova's on the screen. She's got her phone or whatever. Nova's on screen. And there appears to be a male voice coming from just right off the screen. You can hear in the video or clip or whatever it is. And in the video, you can hear this male off screen propositioning Nova to do a certain act. She's a child, remember. Would be illegal. And she says, no, I don't want to do that act because it would hurt. So use your imagination on what that could be. And this apparent male voice from off the camera said, come on, what if I gave you $60? What if I gave you $60? It's like we saw 2 years ago what was being said about this little girl by adults. Ugh. We saw 2 years ago on Mark Lata's Soft White Underbelly what was being said, how she was being described in the titles, how she was being talked about step by step. Each and every time that another adult puts this child out in this way to attempt to normalize it, to do anything other than criticize it and raise alarms. It has brought us into a situation where it has become normalized. There's whole swaths of, I don't know, people, demons, monsters, predators, who knows, could be bots online who are saying that this is just the culture. Not only has she been doing more increasingly risky behaviors on her posts and her videos, not only the whole $60 for the horrendous, painful act, not only that, but I believe her life is also in danger because adults continue to drag her name into a Crips gang affiliated criminal RICO racketeering case of child trafficking. Now, importantly, Nova's name, her real name, her government, no names of Nova in the public documents have been listed. If Nova is in any way related to this lawsuit, it would just say like minor victim 15 or something. Like it wouldn't say her name anyway. But there's adults that have now dragged her name into it, including her mom's name into it as well. And these adults have put her life in danger, in my opinion. Whack 100, I'm talking to you, Unc. I'm talking to you. I'm talking to ATM Richie. What are y'all doing? Wake up. Wake up. Aunt Heffy, what are y'all doing? What does it take? What's it going to take? I had to see a naked little girl this morning on my timeline because it's been so normalized. I don't even pick it up no more. And all y'all have to say is, oh yeah, her and her snitch ass mama. That's all y'all have to say. And then whenever people come along to criticize it, we get harassed. Sexually, it gets defended because some kids is grown and grown adults have dragged this child's name into a Crips gang Hoover indictment as an alleged snitch. Adam 16-gram Mason and Tania, Nova's mom, on the show, they had Nova come on to clear the air for the Crips, criminal Hoover Crips gang. The 15-year-old to clear the air that she ain't no snitch. Hello? Then we have the whole, what I believe to be threats that she better stay out the way for better days and better plays by ATM Richie, who also went on Soft White Underbelly. And on that Soft White Underbelly interview 5 years ago or whatever, he said he's locked women up in kennels, made them eat cat food, all because they were renegades, all because they didn't want to have a pimp. Okay. This same man who said he's burned women, put cigarettes out on women who he owned as, let's call it what it is for once, slaves. If you're in a freaking dog kennel getting burned with cigarettes and you can't leave, you're in a slavery situation. You're a hostage. You're a slave. Yes, you are. You're enslaved. So this man is now telling a 15-year-old, stay out the way for better days and better plays. You better not snitch on the sex trafficking criminal gang. You better not. What is going on out here? Hello. Hello. What is it going to hello? I'm genuinely afraid for the life of this child. I'm actually scared for her life. And I don't know what to do. I do not know what to do. I do not know what else needs to be done. I do not know what can be done other than the proper authorities getting involved, not only to help Nova, because she's been thrusted into global infamy. Everybody knows who she is now. They even said it on No Jumper one time. She's a famous child prostitute, a famous one. It makes her value go up, they were talking about. So she's a little bit uniquely positioned because she is widely known. However, there's a whole lot of this going on. And I don't know. I don't know what to do. Okay. All I can do is what I've done. I definitely think the proper authorities need to get involved, not only to help Nova, but what clearly, in my opinion, appears to be an infested hotbed of child abuse going on all up and down Skid Row and definitely Figueroa corridor. I do not know why or how grown men with millions of subscribers are even legally allowed to produce, manufacture, and distribute materials such as this. But like I said, everybody's innocent until proven guilty. And sometimes even if you're allowed to do something, I don't know why on earth you would want to. So this is a call to action. I think the only way to make any difference here is to band together. We actually have to use those tip lines for the exact reason they were set up. We just have to. I'm seeing something and I'm saying something. I might not be able to control the outcome of this situation, and I might not be able to even control any part of it. But you know what I can control? There's certain things within my control. You know what one of them is? Using this platform to demand accountability, to demand investigations into this, for action to be taken to help not only Nova, but any and all children in this situation, to let authorities know that this might be business as usual in the culture to a certain ilk of degenerated criminal or buffoon, innocent until proven guilty. But it is not acceptable in our society. Children should enjoy their inalienable right to a childhood free from abuse of this kind. It should not depend on the color of their skin. It should not depend on their area code. It should not depend on their zip code. And it should not depend on the poor choices of their parents. This is not new. This is not new, Hoover criminal gang. This is not new. Child abuse like this has been going on for decades, right there in that very spot. With all due respect, with all due respect, I've seen what President Trump can do when he wants to put the full force of the standing guard that we have in this country to work over the past few weeks. I'll just leave it at that. In one way or another, I've at least been able to see that he can mobilize a law enforcement agency on a snap of a finger. So I'm asking everyone who sees this video to do everything that you possibly can within your peaceful power to shed light on Nova's life and death situation and to shed light on this horrific human rights abuses that are going on up and down Figueroa. These are civil rights abuses. These are civil rights abuses against children of extremely vulnerable people themselves, children of addicts themselves. These are kids getting addicted to substances, kids getting offered $60 freaking dollars, kids getting offered $60 freaking dollars for a painful and humiliating act. I don't guess we could change everything everywhere, but I bet you they could hone in on Figueroa Corridor. It's been going on for decades. This is right there in Los Angeles, California, and it's being now published on multiple platforms which have millions of subscribers. Time's up. So, if you are a social media content creator, even if you don't normally talk about things like this, I would ask you please to consider picking up one portion of this story and shedding light on it. I believe this is a life and death situation, and I believe that we might have a responsibility to use the platforms that we have been afforded and given and earned. But it still is a blessing and an opportunity to have a platform, and I think that we could consider using it in a way to shed light on this situation. If you don't have a social media platform, if you don't have a large audience, fine. Call the tip lines. I'm going to get into some of the ones that I called. I'm going to read to y'all some of the things I wrote as an example in just a little bit, in just a moment. This is the call to action portion of the video. If you're a content creator, you don't like me, don't even mention me. I don't care. If you do like me, use my videos. I will not copyright strike. Use the videos, react to the videos. You can react to my video. You can react to the whole series. React to the whole series. I react to a video every day. I'll share the videos of you reacting to the videos. Just, we have to get the word out. I don't know what else to do. And finally, of course, there's reporting stuff to the tip lines yourself. If you see something, say something. I know that we are used to authorities not doing anything. I know that we're used to corruption running amok, but like, I just decided today that like we should maybe do something about this. So let's like actually get something done about this. What can be done? I don't know. I didn't know that, Donald Trump could snap his fingers and have a whole standing army in a city in tomorrow's time. So who knows what's possible if we make the right people aware? Who knows what's possible? Contact your favorite or least favorite. I don't care. Social media commentators, content creators. This is a call to action. This is a call to action. It's time. We have watched collectively Nova go from a 13-year-old with either 0 or maybe 1 tattoo to a 15-year-old with full, body covered. The green hair. She's sucking gas out of balloons, y'all. $60 for a painful, degenerating sex act. And guess what? Tanea got 6 freaking kids. There's other kids. I don't want to even talk about one of the YouTube shorts that I saw of Nova with her little sister. And they're fully clothed. It's not nothing, but it was so demented and just dark and suggestive. And again, I cannot even blame Nova because she is still a child. Who is responsible for her should be in some way held responsible for this. I know kids run away. I know there's good parents out here who are trying their best for their kid, but I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about this situation and the situation we all watched go down. We all watched Tania go over and over publicly to talk about her daughter. We watched Tania over the past almost 2 years, seemingly deliberately make her daughter become famous. And now this famous child institute needs our help more than ever. Please, nobody try to contact Nova. That's absolutely not in any way what I am suggesting. And I would absolutely discourage and prohibit. I can't tell somebody what to do, but don't do that. I'm telling you, don't do it. Okay, so that's the end of the call to action portion. Now I'm going to get into the actual reports that I filed and stuff. So the first one was the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I had heard about this tip line or whatever recently on one of those like predator catcher type videos or whatever. And so that was the first thing that I went to. Also recently a lawsuit was filed involving Roblox or Discord or one of those because of a tip that came in to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. So that was where I started. That was my starting point. So I went on the online cyber tip line. And what did I say to them? I said, in part, I might leave some of this stuff out, if it's like personal identifying of people and stuff, but this is like, pretty much like the gist. A child is being exploited by adults and used for online content. I saw a child, against my will this morning depicting the child in certain acts. She has been advertised by adults, including her mother and YouTubers, as a teenage statute, a 13-year-old runaway, and a 15-year-old statute. She has been reported missing several times under different names. Controversial YouTuber Mark Leta interviewed the child several times, beginning years ago when she was just 13. The first interview advertised, in my opinion, the child as a teenage runaway or 13-year-old runaway, something along those lines. The child is basically nude in the video. Her fill in the blank, detail for the feds or for the hotline. Mark Leta posted this video on his channel, having millions of subscribers. Eventually, he censored or blurred the public YouTube version of the video, but he re-uploaded it for sale. But he re-uploaded it for sale on his paid-for paywall account. Today, private buyers can still purchase this material, and I provided the link. In that first video, he discusses institution and S work with the child and told viewers exactly how to find her for these seemingly illegal services. Now, again, y'all, this is what I wrote to the tip line. This is what I wrote on the tip form. So this is from my perspective and my belief, in my opinion, what I believe. So just, for the disclaimer purpose of what I'm reading to y'all, I do not know if Mark Leta has ever committed a crime in his life. I'm not saying he's a criminal. I'm not saying he did anything with Nova. What I am saying is exactly what happened, which is he interviewed her, and I am describing from my perspective what she looked like in that interview. Put a 1 in the chat if it's kind of lining up with what y'all remember. Within 2 months of this video being published to millions of subscribers, the child in fact went missing and has been repeatedly reported missing ever since. Sometime recently, but I told them in the report line like the exact, time, moment or day, she posted a video to her blank account and included a blank handle to another account. And so when I went to that second account, there was child abuse material for sale on the account. I reported that material, 3 videos, to the platform itself and began reporting the findings to you guys, these people, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, on the cyber temp line. I also called the line on the phone when prompted and had an approximately 15-minute call with a representative named Kristen. Adam Grandmason from No Jumper repeatedly interviews this child's mother and also interviews the child about, in my opinion, unlawful topics, including gang-related violence and prostitution. No adults have seemed to step in, or no adults seem to have stepped in to help this abused child. When I made critical comments about these behaviors, the No Jumper show cast said I should come to the studio and perform a group act on the men there, instead of complaining about them. So that should give you an idea of the mindset. Now, I'm going to read to y'all, I'm not going to show it, but I'm going to read to y'all the bio. And I did include this as a link to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. The bio, whereupon I found, or was confronted, rather, I wasn't looking for it, so I was assaulted with this illegal child material, advertising videos for sale and other things. That account that it's on, again, it's just a public social media account. It's like a regular social media account on a regular social media platform. Okay, it's not anything. It's not no OnlyFans. It's none of that. It's just regular. So her, bio says the following: welcome, CUMMMM, ... The real Nova, emoji, heart eye emoji. Text me for content deals. LOL, enjoy, eggplant, emoji. Welcome, the real Nova, emoji. Text me for content deals. LOL, enjoy. I reported this social media profile a long time ago this morning, hours ago. Is Tough Stino in here? Shout out to my cousin. I hope he's responding to the call. I just sent out a bat signal for people to cover the story. Stino, you actually came to my mind, and I know you don't normally cover stuff about kids and stuff, but like, I feel like this is a life or death situation. And if you could find it within your heart to cover some aspect of the story, that feels like the least, I could ask, people in the cousins to do. However, it's up to you, because I know you don't normally do that kind of thing, but it's nasty out here. You're going to be reacting tonight. Okay, thank you. And y'all, listen, be easy on, like, I'm like almost about to cry. Like, I know y'all saw me almost cry a while ago. You know what it is, y'all? I think I had a breakdown of trust in the system again. You know how you have those sometimes, and it's like, okay, well, at least in my mind, it was like, well, at least if it's child materials, they will get took down immediately. Look how fast they could take down a David TikTok. They could quick, instantaneously. A song, a little clip of a trailer of a little Netflix, like they could take that down so fast. So I'm like, surely if I use the magic red button that actually says I'm seeing child beep a fee, then it will be instant. No, it's not. It's not. It wasn't. Oh, my soul. This is nasty work. Oh, my soul. Oh, my soul. Oh, my soul. So that's what the profile bio says. Welcome to the real Nova. Text me for content deals. And this account is still up. I got a screenshot here saying thank you from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. My report number, they gave me 2214 something. I also reported it to the 2 separate platforms. I got my screenshots here. I also reported to the FBI. And I'm going to read y'all what I reported to the FBI. And in my opinion, in my belief, it's the truth. In my opinion, in my belief, this is how I see it. Since I am broadcasting what I wrote to the FBI tip line on my channel, I want to let y'all know this is my opinion. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty. I've been having this wrong banner playing on the below. Oh, well, the disclaimers still stand. Let me change my banner. Girl, everybody reacting to these videos is going to be like, what does Milagro and Megan Thee Stallion have to do with anything? Okay. So the FBI thing. Okay, so this is what I said to them, and in my opinion, this is what it is. Controversial YouTuber Mark Laita, Soft White Underbelly, advertised this child as a 13-year-old runaway and, in my memory, prostitute. But maybe he was advertising somebody else as that, or it's so hard for me to say anything other than advertise because in my mind that's what it is. But you know, he may disagree. This happened in December 2023 on his YouTube channel with millions of subscribers. Almost immediately after the publication of the video, the child went missing. She has been reported missing repeatedly ever since. Her mother is also apparently an S worker. The child is now, as of today, at least to my knowledge, advertising child S abuse materials for sale on her social media platforms, including YouTube, X, Twitter, Snapchat, Telegram, Instagram, non-exhaustive. And for this tip, I did include links so that, you know, it was just a general list, but I did include links for them. I reported this to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. I reported it to the platform itself and the other platform itself. This was several hours ago. The child blank videos are still on the site at the time of this FBI tip report. The blank account has gained nearly 100 followers or subscribers today alone, exposing others to this, in my opinion, illegal and unsettling content. The child was also interviewed and, in my opinion, advertised with her mother on another controversial YouTube channel called No Jumper. This was run by Adam Grant Mason, who also hires known gang affiliates who have now been indicted on RICO charges to man the mics at the studio. And I just wanted to also add that there's some perverts who go by at gang_DE-RUE_224 who replied the following: cool baby heart, cool baby IA. So maybe that's a robot. Then there's another pervert by the name of at BEANG Marley. Again, that is at BEANG Marley said, I followed your ex and snap. Okay, good. I said, so you're a child predator. Nice. I'll report this account to the FBI in my follow-up tip. People comment and you look so healthy and stuff. Now, look, listen, some people are commenting on these videos, on these posts with nice stuff and encouraging stuff. Like, you know, you can leave this life at any time, or you look so beautiful, or whatever, you know, nice stuff, trying to lift her up. And that's, you know, whatever. I mean, I'm telling y'all, don't go comment nothing. If you have comments to make them to the authorities. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, they have a cyber tip line. You can just type that right in. Yes, do not contact, harass, or bully any person that is mentioned in this video. Do not go anywhere to do any protesting on the behalf of anything that I say. What I am asking you very clearly and unequivocally to do is to peacefully exercise your rights and use these tip lines exactly how they were made to be used, which is to report what you know and ask for accountability, ask for an investigation. I'm not accusing anyone of a crime because I don't know if any crimes were committed, but I can see that Nova is in danger. She's doing substances. She's out and about on her own. She's been publicly in fights with her own mom, going back and forth, screaming. She's screaming this, screaming that. She can't be at her house. We got ATM Richie making threats on her life, in my opinion. Stay out the way for better days and better plays. Now, he's done come out and said he was, didn't mean that. And he was just saying, he didn't mean it that way. And he's praying for Nova and all this. But like, y'all, I mean, this is sinister. I don't think she does have custody. It's me. I think she just keeps running away. Thank you, Stevie Nicks, for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, Juliana, for becoming a new member. Thank you, Nick B, member for 23 months. Thank you, BJ. Thank you. Thank you. You reported an account today. Great. Thank you so much for the $2 super chats. Well, they do. So, Edie, they do have an option to report this type of, and I used that option. And so I always kind of thought that was like the red phone, like when you say that one, it's gone, it's nuked till further notice, but no, I guess not. I do see the counterbalancing thing. Like I've also seen how stuff's getting taken down by the AI and the robots. I don't think any and everything should just be able to be taken down, and someone could just make a fake report on just a regular tweet and call it that. But it's kind of like I thought it would be expedited. I mean, I don't know. Thank you, Appalachian Unicorn, for the becoming a member. Thank you, Crystal. Shout out to you for gifting one That Surprise Witness membership. Thanks so much to Maggie becoming a member. So it's been kind of like rough day for me. And every time I have that feeling, I'm just like, imagine how rough of a day it is for these little girls and little boys that are being abused out here, and nobody's really doing anything. Nobody's doing anything. And, of course, it would be probably impossible to help every single kid in this situation, or even every single kid in this situation on Figueroa. But this a double-edged sword they have now put there. They're all of them who have put her into a situation to make her basically like a quote famous child institute. They all have put this one particular child on all our radars. And I think it could be used in a way, this horrible situation could be used in a way where we actually all band together and actually start using these tip lines for something that they're used for. And maybe something can be done about maybe at least just Nova's situation. What could be done about Nova's situation, girl? Don't ask me. They got experts, don't they? I mean, this is where I'm starting to to arrive with it too. I'm kind of like, who's in charge? Like who's the adult? Who's the adults around here? Who's going to do anything about this? Where can she go? I mean, thank you, Maggie, becoming a member. I don't know what this means. Can you include the 2-line info in the description of the video? I don't know what this means. Shout out to you for being a member for 5 months. Thanks so much to Edie for the $4.99 super chat. It's wild that yourself and other content creators seem to be the only people who seem to genuinely care about Nova's well-being. Not even the people in her life. Yeah, no, we get told we don't understand the culture for caring about this little girl and saying, hey, how about like, can we like have people stop abusing and exploiting this little girl? And they're like, oh, you don't understand the culture, Karen. Get out of here. What? Wait, no. I understand demons when I'm looking at them. That's about all we can agree on, because that's not whose culture. I will not be gaslit. My gaslit era is over. My gaslit era is over. Shout out to Hoodie and a Crowbar becoming a member. Shout out to Gangland Duda. She'll call the cops and have Nova return back to her. I mean, that's the thing. Someone sent this to the Dad Challenge podcast. I'm not familiar. Dad Challenge. Right. And that's another thing too. I mean, look, you said it. Even if that is somebody's culture, I don't accept that one. Y'all gonna have to get in line with somebody else's culture real quick, because we're not doing abusing children as the culture. That's over. No, we're not doing that. Yeah, no, it's stupid. Yeah, no, I am. Every time I've thought about it today, like, oh my God, like I'm on the verge of tears just thinking about it. I'm not even, first of all, I'm not a child. Second of all, I'm not in her situation at all. Third of all, I've never been in her situation. Never, ever. So I can literally, like, it's stunning and makes me speechless to try as an adult to put myself in a situation that this child, I mean, it's a war zone. She's living in a war zone. There's unimaginable trauma being inflicted upon this child every single day that I cannot even fathom. But you know what I can fathom? That I can get up and use whatever little platform I have, whatever little position of whatever power, whatever little position of whatever privilege that I have for people to listen to me and say, hello, can somebody do something about this little girl? At least this one. Can you get off your ass and do something about one missing little girl? You know? It's true. It's true. Okay, so this has all just been my opinion, okay? That's my opinion. I encourage other people to say their opinion. I want more people to say their opinion publicly. If you have a little platform, if you have a little channel, if you have access to somebody with a little platform and with a little channel, if you could just find one little part of this story that speaks to your heart that you can stomach, if you can report this to these tip lines, which is what they are designed to be used for. She's crying out for help all the time. She is crying out for help all the time. She puts hashtag help me in her videos. Yeah, no, I definitely am. Somebody told me earlier on my comment section, like, you got to watch out for going in those places because demons can easily attach to you. I said, maybe that applies to you, but that don't apply to me. No, demons cannot easily do shit to me. No, they cannot. And anyone that tries learns real fast. No weapon formed against me shall nor has the ability to prosper. 1,000 may fall at my side, 10,000 at my right hand, but it will not come near me. I will only observe with my eyes and see the punishment of the wicked. Opinions aren't defamation. Justice for Nova. Love you, mean it, K, bye.